Hey everyone, my name is Michael. Welcome back to the Adventure Guides virtual craft series. Today we've got another great craft for you guys to do with your circles or with your kiddos. It's called the Nature Critters Craft. So let's get started. First thing, you're gonna need to gather all sorts of natural materials for today's craft. We're gonna have a list that we're gonna go through of types of things that you can get, but before we start that, I wanna remind you guys that when you're grabbing stuff from nature, make sure you do it either from your backyard or a park, and don't take from established places like a state park or a butterfly garden or things like that. So, what we're gonna need today, sticks, twigs, leaves, both fresh and dried, seed pods if you can find them, pebbles or cool rocks, shells, flowers, or any other piece of nature that you find interesting. You'll also need googly eyes, you'll need sticky tack or hot glue and a hot glue gun, and some kind of tray or bucket for collecting materials, and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. We're gonna start out today and we can make all sorts of different nature critters. That could be birds or insects, and we're gonna try to make a bird today. So we're gonna start out with a cool rock that I found. Maybe we'll take this big dried leaf, and I got a couple other smaller ones here. We're gonna let our imaginations run wild. So I'm gonna take, starting out with this small rock here, kind of bird-shaped if you look at it the right way. And then we'll get some smaller dried leaves. These little yellow ones may make good beaks or feet. And then maybe this big one can be our wings. So I'm gonna start out by trying to make a beak, and I'm gonna take a small leaf and give it a little cut. Try to make a little triangle. And we'll take a little dab of glue and put it right on our rock here. Again, parents, if you've got young kiddos, those kindergartners sometimes may need a little help with the hot glue gun so they don't get hurt. So, oversee or maybe do it with them and have them guide you through the craft. Now, we'll start out with his face to kind of give him some personality. So we're gonna grab the googly eyes. And just to make him a little extra goofy, we'll give him two different size eyes. So we'll take one kind of bigger one here. You can't really see it that well. And then we'll take a smaller one because I think it's kind of funny. So we've got our bird's tiny face on here, and we'll go ahead and give him some feet and maybe some wings. Now I've got this cool leaf here, and I'm gonna cut this in half to make some wings. So we'll glue the wings to the side. And remember, it's okay if there's holes in your leaves. Everyone's got little imperfections, and that just makes them a little more unique. So that's what our little bird friend's got going on here. So he's got his wings. They're a little crooked, but that's okay. And then the last but not least for our little bird friend is we're gonna put some little feet on him. So we've got those other yellow leaves here. We'll just kind of set them out on the table and give him a little bit of hot glue. And he's got his little feet. So we've made a little bird friend as our first little nature critter craft today. So we'll set him off to the side, and then maybe we'll try some other ideas, maybe some butterflies or dragonflies. So let's make a butterfly. So we've got some other pieces here. We've got this stick, looks like a nice butterfly body, and we're gonna start like I like to always start and give him a little bit of personality. So we're gonna get some big googly eyes. Sorry, I dropped some on the floor here. I'm gonna take my biggest ones, just like these, because I think these will be kind of goofy. And we'll glue them on. Now I don't have any sort of mouth that I could glue on him, but I have a Sharpie, so I'm gonna draw a little smiley face on him because he's a happy little butterfly. And there's his face. I'll let you guys decide on a name for him. And now that we've got that, we gotta take some other pieces of nature and try to give him some wings, because butterflies can't fly without wings. I've got some cool other leaves here. They're a little misshapen, but as with our last guy, things aren't always the same on everyone. One arm may be a little bit bigger than the other, and that's okay. But I'm gonna cut these in half and give him kind of two wings on each side. And we'll take our other leaf and cut this one in half too. And now he's got his little wings. And we'll add our last little finishing touch, because all self-respecting butterfly have antennae, or antennae if you will. So we picked these fun little purple fuzzball flowers, and we'll go ahead and glue those onto his little head so he can fit in with his butterfly friends. But in the end, you should have something that looks like this. So we've got a goofy little butterfly friend here. So last thing we're gonna try to make is a dragonfly. We're gonna really have to use our imaginations on this one. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll grab our other stick. This one's nice and long, like dragonfly bodies are. And as we did with our last couple, we're gonna go ahead and give him eyes first, just because he needs to be able to see this world that we're bringing him into. If all goes well, he'll have little eyes. And it's gonna be kind of hard to give him a face, so we'll just imagine that he has a little smile on his face. So we've got these cool little frond, palm looking things. I don't know what kinds of plants these are, but we found them, and that's all that matters. and they resemble wings. And we're gonna glue these onto his back. So while those are drying, we gotta give him some legs because he's gotta be able to land somehow. So we've got some big pieces of grass here, and I think what I'll do is cut them into 6 leg-shaped pieces is what we'll call them for today. And what we've got is 6 identical little grass pieces to give him some legs. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold them in half so it looks like he's got little knees. So now that we've given him a little fold, he's got little dragonfly knees, we'll do our last step and we'll just glue him onto his little body. However you want to, he can look a little goofy. All right. So he's got his legs, kind of, and he's got little wings and he's got his little eyes, and I'd say that's a pretty good nature-y looking dragonfly. So that's the end of our craft. That's all that I've got for you guys today. But as always, I encourage you to try these out. Let your imagination run wild. Maybe try to make a hedgehog or a grasshopper or maybe an ant or a bee. Whatever you can think of, get inspired. And this is a good time for you to share this with your circle, put it on the Facebook page, or send it to a friend of yours and say, hey, look what I made today. So that's all I've got. Thanks as always, and I'll see you guys next time.